as Einstein said, common sense, the evidence of our common sense perceptions are a series of prejudices that most people acquire by the age of 18. It's just Jane on the streets of Paris. Everything about her experience, everything about her friends and her colleagues' experience seemed to corroborate this belief that her experience is generated by matter. Going back to Bernardo's analogy of being punched in the face, someone comes up to Jane. I'm going back to my dream analogy. Someone slaps Jane on the face. Her internal experience correlates with that. She feels pain. What caused the actual experience, the knowing of her experience? It was a physical hand on her physical face. And it seems that most of her experience seems to be explicable by this paradigm. It seems to hold up until you start questioning it. Now, what is it that causes most people to question it? Suffering. If we didn't suffer, there would be no reason to question our view of the world. On the contrary, we would think the happiness I experience is a confirmation that my view of the world is correct. We would never question anything. And that's why so many people are first open to the possibility that we are discussing here through the experience of suffering. Their life falls apart. They realize something's not working. And it's not just today that it's not working. It gets worse the older you get. As Henri David Thoreau said, most people lead lives of quiet desperation. You get halfway through your life, and it's not working. Relationships, activities. You've experienced enough suffering to no longer be able to keep it at bay through objects, substances, activities, relationship. You've been failed by life sufficiently often to probe a little bit deeper. Could there be something about my attitude that is responsible? Might I have got something wrong? And for most of us, it's suffering that opens this door. So for me, it was, although I had this very early intuition, aged 7, that everything is a dream in God's mind. And then I forgot that intuition as I grew up. It was suffering that reignited my interest in these matters. In fact, in my case, it was a very particular experience when the girlfriend I was with, my first girlfriend, with whom I thought I would get married and have 4 children and live happily ever after, ended our 3-year relationship in a 2-minute phone call. And for the first time in my life, I became aware of the extent to which I had invested the thing that I loved the most, namely happiness, in objective experience. This cracked my world. My world had already been cracked by my parents' divorce, but this was a crack that I could no longer plaster over. Am I going to spend the rest of my life investing the thing that I love most in life, which is peace or joy, in something which is inherently unstable? This brought urgency to what had then, I was already interested in these matters, but it became a passion. There's something must be wrong about my model of reality. What can I know for certain is true? And if I were to start there and hold on to that and only lead a life that was consistent with that, what kind of a life would that be?
So 2 things. Suffering first then can be very much a blessing, even though it's not perceived in that way culturally. And then secondly, through your understanding of non-duality, of the nature of reality, and through choosing to live in accordance with it, and I know you say that it's a never-ending journey. To what degree, if your suffering was previously at 100%, where would you rate it now? I don't mean right now, I mean generally.
Yes. Okay. Simon, I'm reluctant to put a number on it, but let me say this, that when that suffering arises less and less frequently, and it lasts for less and less time, and fewer experiences have the power to provoke it. Now, I would never say that it never happens. I can be triggered in a situation, and it can create an emotional resistance in me. That's what suffering is, emotional resistance. But I notice that fewer experiences have that capacity. They have to be quite intense. And so it happens less and less frequently. And when it does happen, when the experience of suffering is triggered, this understanding kicks in quite quickly. And I'm able to trace my way back to my essential being and its innate peace that lies behind, so to speak, the content of my experience.